forget yourself as being a hotel operator right now. Think of yourself as a customer. We have all been in the situation where we've stayed in hotels that were miserable. They were dirty, rat-infested. I've stayed in rat-infested places. They were absolutely deplorable. And even some of the luxury chains fall into that category because they put on airs. They think they are more important than their customers. And nothing turns me off, and nothing turns a customer off faster when all of a sudden you think you're better than the consumer or your guest. Most hotels tend to operate, and this is a sad point, in what I call, or what the consumer calls, mediocre. Yes, they offer a clean room, a pleasant experience, but nothing really that great. It's bland and mundane. One brand, one hotel substitutes for another. However, there are places where we stay where they're absolutely magnificent. We sense that these places have a real soul to them. There's a presence, and there's a greatness that comes. It's just something in the air. It comes from the interactions that you have with the people. The key point in trying to develop a very strong business model is that if you were to succeed then, you have to become a solutions provider for each of these people. Now, what if that composite of people were the people coming to your hotels next week? Do you know any of them? Do you care about why they're coming to Montreal? Do you really know what they are going to do and what you could do for them to make their visit that much more memorable? In other words, to become indispensable to your guests, to have your hotel be considered magnificent, you have to become a solutions provider. This is the challenge. It's not easy. This is the challenge that you face. The other thing that we've lost, and I really mean that, in my younger days, a hotel was a center of fabulous activity where you to be seen, to have a great time. It was a stage, it was entertainment. Families went there on special occasions. You've got to be the center of guest activity. And yet what we've done is our brands have all of a sudden said, all we're going to do is sell rooms. There's no more culinary experience. There's no place to meet because there's no lobby space. And so all it is just a room. If you're in that situation, because of the way your hotel is built and composed, well, then you have to ask yourself, maybe I can't become the center for guest activity or a community activity. We've lost a lot of that in this business, and that to me is a shame. So the question is, how do you deliver magnificence within Montreal? Let's assume that that's your guest over there. He has a memory of staying in this hostel. This hostel is called the Yamaru Hostel. And that's all it is, a hostel. Not a youth hostel, but a hostel in Cusco, Peru. And I was on business there a number of years ago. I stayed there. They didn't know who I was, but the owner took enough interest in me to find out why I was there, what I was doing, and what he could do to make my visit that much more pleasurable. He used his connections within the city to introduce me to people, etc. Fabulous experience. Customers all have that magnificent, experience in their head. And so when they're coming into Montreal, and that's Montreal skyline there, they have a task at hand. Let's assume that that particular person wants to relocate to Montreal. That's the reason he's staying at your hotel, because he wants to live there and bring his family. That is the job to be accomplished. He's not staying at your hotel simply because your hotel is there. He's coming with a distinct purpose. And there are barriers. There's a money barrier, there's a skill barrier, there's a time barrier, and there's an access or connection barrier. If you really wanted to make a business model, and I'm thinking of these extended care type of, not extended care, but long stay, hotels, all they do is provide a suite. But where is the real action? Where are the real activities associated with helping that guest accomplish that job? And that job consists of a number of issues that he's trying to achieve. Reduce his relocation costs, reduce his family stress, and of course his boss wants him to be productive as soon as he hits the ground. If you can accomplish those objectives for that particular person, guess what? You've got a customer for life. And what's that customer going to do? When he sets up shop in Montreal, your hotel is going to be the base of operations. That's where the lifetime value comes in. This is how you've got to think. Now, I'm sure that this may not be new to you, but all I'm asking you to think about, what more could I be doing? That's what you should be doing. Maximizing the experience and reaping the rewards. iPod. The service and the product here is very, very simple. Yes, the technology seems to be advanced, but it's very, very simple. This company, Apple, could have only produced this, and this machine would have sold within a year and then been totally replaced either by another model or by another company's model. What's the business model that Apple used? They decided to break their whole electronics business, the barriers down, and got into music distribution. So all of a sudden, they've locked you in. This is an item that they make a lot of money on, but they don't sell as many as they music. Music for $1 a song is a very, very low margin business, but its volume suggests that you've got something called recurrent income. Money always coming in. That's the miracle of this iPod. That is the miracle.